Coronavirus is now in Poland. The question is, can the Polish economy cope? We'll find out more thanks to
Piotr Arak of the Polish Economic Institute.
So Piotr, thank you very much for coming to the show. I guess the main question we're talking about today
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure both ways, I guess. The main question we're asking today is how well is the Polish economy, and Poland in general, prepared for coronavirus and what's probably going to come to the country? What's your overall view of the situation?
You know, the OECD, IMF, World Bank, everybody sees the global economy slowing down. So we don't expect that this is going to be a thing that's not going to affect the global economy. We also see that it's going to affect the G20, so the top 20 economies in the world. It's going to affect even the United States. It affected China, with which it affected everybody else in the value chain creation. So it's also going to affect the German economy because China is also a very big consumer market. They don't only produce, but they also consume a lot of things that we produce here in Europe. And this means that basically everybody, not only those people who get sick, but also those people who won't be able to travel, won't be able to buy some stuff, or they're going to consume some different type of things. So we expect that this is going to be rapidly affecting the overall economy in the first and second quarter of 2020. So all our projections that we had at the end of 2019, we can put them in the trash.
You can put them in the trash, yeah.
And we have to think about the future of our economy in a different way. Poland overall, because this is what you asked about, is in a bit different situation. We're a very global economy and an open economy. So 4/5 of our product and our trade is basically with European Union. So whatever happens with France, whatever happens to Germany, and also to the United Kingdom, this affects the value created in our economy, the consumption of our produce, of the goods that we export, basically car parts, furniture, and also more complicated products from high tech, which more and more Poland tries to create. So even though the problems right now with the economy are directly connected with China, and it's what is happening with the Chinese economy, we can see that further in the year it's going to also affect other economies in our region.
We're seeing, obviously, this is the 6th of March when we're publishing, so probably within a week or two the situation would have dramatically changed across Europe, but certainly the vast majority of the cases right now are in China. How integrated is the Polish economy in both directions with the Chinese economy?
Yeah, overall, the Chinese economy is an increasing global power. And it also means that more and more trade is being conducted also with Poland. But in case of our economy, China is only the 22nd largest partner in terms of trade. In direct trade, so whatever goods that we export or we import from China. But in direct ways. Through the German economy, China is a very much more important trade partner than we originally would thought. So more and more of the goods that are being sold from Germany to China are also goods with parts coming from Poland and created in our country. So this means that whatever happens to the Chinese economy, it's also going to affect us, but in a lesser way than directly like Germany.
What was the state of the Polish economy before this? I mean, we're looking at rising inflation, some warning signs on the horizon globally as well as in Poland. Also, maybe a rather negative question, but is there any way that the Polish economy could benefit from this situation?
Some people would argue yes. I heard some politicians and economists speaking about that. I also did make this argument that because of what is happening, some of the CEOs and global corporations are going to rethink their value chain and the transportation and logistics of producing much more of the goods that they sell. and having everything in just one basket, meaning Asia, it means that you could be affected because of an epidemic like this, or even a pandemic, if this situation gets out of control. It also means that those regions could be affected with one climate, extraordinary climate action or whatever happening just in this part of the world. And this would make some of the CEOs rethink that decision that they made 20 or 25 years ago to produce all the things just in China, just in Taiwan, just in Thailand or Vietnam. And this means that some countries which are big producers, as Poland and Central and Eastern Europe is, could benefit from that. It means that some of the decisions could be remade, and because of the risk which it's created just each 5 or 10 years because of stopping of the global trade, it means that some of the goods should be produced here, more close to the headquarters and the board.
Nearshoring, which we'd obviously encourage people to look at Poland as a nearshoring location for European manufacturing, of course. Isn't it interesting how globalization has shown how efficient this system is, and yet simultaneously vulnerable to shocks like this? I find it fascinating. Now I wonder, we're seeing already events being closed in Poland, people sort of cancelling shows, even though there is only one confirmed case as of the 6th of March, perhaps with more coming very shortly. I wonder, what is the effect of each individual's actions in the context of the whole Polish economy? So if people start shutting shop and not travelling and not going to places, are we actually harming the Polish economy individually, collectively?
It depends, because the consumption that we would do in the first and second quarter, because we don't want to buy, we don't want to go to the cinema, we don't want to travel right now, but somewhere in the third quarter, when everything is supposedly is going to ease out a bit, then this consumption is still going to be created, and this is just going to be an increased number of things that we buy, or the travels that we're going to make in the third and fourth quarter of this year. So it doesn't mean, like fundamentally, the money that we get and save right now, we're going to spend it. Nevertheless, the different mix of things that we're going to buy and spend it on the services is going to probably change. So for example, we're not going to travel abroad for a vacation. This could be some of the decisions that the Polish and other European consumers are going to make. And what it means, more of them are going to stay in Poland, for example, or in Germany during their holidays. And this also means a lot of value creation in Poland, basically, of buying goods in our country, which creates more value. If we're not going to go to the theater right now because we're scared of getting sick, probably we're going to VOD something. We're going to consume a different good, which also is going to help us. For example, with every country that introduced some kinds of making Sunday free of trade, or a day free of work, this meant that a lot of different consumption was created. People went to the restaurants, people went to the cinemas, and this is the businesses that flourished during this time. And we can also expect the same situation with the overall economy. So we're going to travel less, but probably travel more within our country. We're not going to go abroad using airplanes, but probably we're going to travel, I don't know, maybe with a different sorts of transportation.
Have you now, at the Warsaw Economic Institute, have you now revised your GDP forecast for the year, or is it too early to do that?
It's too early to do that. So we don't have enough information coming from the first quarter of this year to see what's happening. You mentioned inflation. This is one of the factors that we expected the inflation to raise in this first quarter of 2020, but the exact number was an unusual and unexpected increase of the inflation rate during this year. What it means is also that this is also the different kinds of consumption. It also makes it more difficult to project what the inflation rate number is going to be for the second quarter of this year. So overall, we're in a big uncertainty. So as with Brexit, which after 2016 managed to decrease the global FDIs, and everybody held to their investments. So nobody made any decisions in order to locate new manufacturing plants, to new investments in Europe, because of the financial center being affected by the Brexit. And the decision which regulations are going to be affected and when, what's going to happen, the level of uncertainty.
Still ongoing,
yes, it's still going on. So we still have a negotiation happening between the European Union and the United Kingdom. The overall uncertainty is the thing that decreases the value created in Poland, in Germany, in China, everywhere in the world. So we don't know what to expect. And when people don't know what to expect, they don't want to spend. And this decreases the value created, the investment rates, and it's quite logical that people do that. So they want to wait out the darker times and wait for the better ones to have more decisions which are more logical, or you know what's going to happen in the next quarter of the year, basically.
Well, Piotr, you said that with such a smile on your face that I can't help but feel a little bit more optimistic. So if you were worrying about what was going to happen to the Polish economy, you've now got some clarity thanks to Piotr Arak from the Warsaw Economic Institute. And of course, we encourage you to check out other fascinating interviews about the state of Polish economy, lifestyle, Polish culture, Polish history, art as well on the First News channel, Looking for the Heart of Poland programme. So Piotr, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you again for another episode of Heart of Poland.